Here, pleasure to be here. The only thing is I didn't catch it. I was angry he didn't catch the first one in the first half. He dropped two of them. But it speaks right to the whole fabric and core of what this football team is all about. Obviously we've been through some tough games, not tough games, but games that we had to show that we could persevere and finish, and go through some adversity and those type of things in the early games and just find a way to win. And when you have that, I think that's the biggest piece to any football team. You want them to understand that football is played in it's a 60-minute game. It's 4 quarters of football. Whether you have the lead or whether you have to fight back, you want to know that you have a football team that are willing to fight and claw and bleed and do what they need to do for 4 quarters to win a football game. And that was the one element that really showed up last Saturday, was that we were going to fight you for 4 quarters, and you were going to have to turn around and have to hang with us, not us, have to fight and keep up with you. So that's a big thing. And when you have that moral fabric and that core of your football team, and that's there and that's solid, that speaks to the overall health internally of where your football team is. The fact that they believe, the fact that they're willing to still be coached and do those things and willing to fight for you and fight to be together and fight together as a unit. A lot of times it's just getting them to have the pride and the T that they have on their helmet and that they carry around and they walk around. You're a Tennessee Volunteer. And one thing Tennessee Volunteers don't do is quit. And that football team is never going to do that. So that's why we found ourselves in that situation, and they were able to come back out the second half and put together it's probably a good half of football that I've been around in the last decade of coaching college football. Came out, hit on all cylinders, played together, played passionately, fed off the energy that the stadium provided. That's a weapon when you can put that many people in a stadium and they pull together behind the team. That's a very powerful weapon that lends to us having an advantage. And the needling effect was definitely in effect, and we fed off of it, and it helped us to a win. So excited about that, but that's a wrap. That's in the books. We're moved on. It doesn't get any easier for the Tennessee Volunteers as we go down to Athens to take on a Georgia team that's going to be pretty upset about last week's performance that they had, and they're going to come out and we're sure we're going to have our hands full, and they're going to give us everything they got. But we'll be ready, I promise you. So, any questions? Yes, sir.
Why did we get off to such a slow start?
That was one that we all were a little concerned with and had to fix and ask ourselves. And right at that point in time in the game, it was just to kind of weather the storm and keep pushing through. But that's definitely some conversation that we're dealing with right now as a staff. And some of the things we went right to work on Sunday was, trying to figure that out and what can we do from a coaching standpoint and preparation standpoint to make sure that we don't get out of the gate that slow anymore. So I understand and feel your pain.
I have a question and comment. You say to the team at halftime, but something like that, and 2, whatever it is, to say it again.
The whole thing with halftime is you don't have a whole lot of time. So whatever you say, whatever you come and present to the kids, it has to be something in which you believe in, something in which you've preached and you've taught and you've given them. It has to be something that's already in their DNA. You can't just make up and mix up some magical potion and put it in squirt bottles and give it to everybody and say, drink this, we're going to fix all the problems. That's not going to happen. You have to call it back to all of the hard work and commitment and dedication through the summer and all the things and all the work that we put in. And then if they truly believe in it and they know that that's all that it will take, then they'll go out and execute. And really for us at that point in time, it was just execution. It wasn't anything else. You turn on the film on Sunday and we were physical, we were getting after them, and we were doing some really good things. We just weren't, executing 11 for 11 on offense, and the same thing on the other side of the ball. But when we came back out and were able to execute and do the things that we do on a daily basis, you saw the tides turn. Yes, sir.
Talk about Jason Croom and his late move to tight end. How's that working?
It's working out really well for us. Anytime you can take a young man with that type of athletic ability and size and some of the things that come naturally, and put him into a position where he can become a matchup issue for certain defenses and certain schemes, it's plus for Tennessee. The big thing about that is that transition sometimes is a little hairy from receiver to tight end. The game's a little different. It's right on top of you, and now you're dealing with the big boys on every down. So the transition, you know, is one that he gets better and better at each week, because all it really takes is for him to find his comfort zone in that, and he's going to be continue to get better. So we're going to continue to look for progress from him each and every week.
How are you freshman tight?
You know, the freshman tight ends are really doing a good job. College football is fast. It's physical, and especially when you're playing at the SEC level, at a place like Tennessee, where expectations and all of those things are obviously very high, and they should be. There's a transition that you naturally go through mentally, both mentally and physically. And some guys, they just don't all walk in the door that way and ready to go. So, but they're doing a good job with the process of understanding what that's all about, learning how to study and prepare, and also, you know, lift and get bigger and get stronger and do all of those things. So we're excited about that, you know, that bunch, and they're doing a good job in the place that they're supposed to be doing it in as young guys coming in the door.
Let's go back to halftime. I know the coaches speak. Did any of the players step up? Did any of them take the lead and try to motivate the team?
Well, you hope that on any really good football team, the bottom line is coaches can't step between the white lines and go play. So at the end of the day, you want to have some strong leadership on both sides of the ball that have a strong enough voice and can back it up through their play and their preparation to go out and lead the players, so to speak. So yeah, I thought our seniors and our captains and our leaders did a really good job in that situation. We're faced with at halftime of leading the guys, and not only leading them through just, you know, screaming and through their voice, but through their play. When you saw a guy like Josh Dobbs step up and make some of the plays that he made, Derek Barnett, and those guys that are older, seasoned veterans on our football team, not only did it, you know, verbally, they went out and led by their play, which is what you hope happens, because it's infectious.
Did you do anything special for the Florida pass defense? Because we've been reading about how great those players were back there, but it didn't seem to slow us down the second half. Did you do something special?
No, we just recruited some really good players too. So, you know, that's the beautiful part about being here and being at Tennessee. We have a great product and obviously a great football culture to sell any young person around the country, coast to coast. So we can go out and compete to bring in the best players in the country as well, and we're going to continue to do that and continue to build it.
Your coaching was great, but there was also some comment about your nutrition and your conditioning that
Yeah.
kind of helped you in the fourth quarter. Are you doing something different there than you were doing before?
Repeat the question.
Repeat the question? We repeat the question. Okay. Coaching was great. The players responded and they did all those great things. You know, they drank the Kool-Aid at halftime. I get it. But it started way before we got to that game with our nutritionists and our strength staff and our sports science staff doing a great job of preparing the guys from a hydration, from a meal planning standpoint. You know, with us, you know, with our GPS catapult system of monitoring our practices and those type of things to make sure that we're as fresh and hydrated and well fueled. You know, fuels really well to go play in that type of heat, in that type of game. We all know in order to go where we want to go as a football family and as a place that loves this team and loves football, we're going to be in some four-quarter ball games and some dogfights. This is the SEC, and then that's a part of it. And so the preparation that goes into that at the beginning of the week, right now for Georgia, you know, they have a hydration plan, they have a nutrition plan, meal plans, and a lifting schedule, a stretching schedule, a routine, and power practice, and all of those things that go into making sure these young people are ready to give us everything that they got. You know, I told them all at the beginning of the game, you know, all we need is what you got, and nothing more than that. And that's why you're here, and that's why you're involved.